is still on charge. I have just now, but thank you for joining me. If you join me on Facebook, thank you. If you join me on LinkedIn, thank you. And we're we're waiting to go live on Amazon Live, and we're live now on Amazon Live. 12 seconds to go, and use the countdown clock simply because we're actually live on Amazon Live, which is the main feed tonight, and we're also live on Facebook. So let's remove that card, and we're here. And what I'm going to do first of all, because that's a bit of a crazy background, I know, is I'm going to switch the background off. Okay, that's better. And hello and welcome to this live broadcast on Amazon Live. And I'm just going to make sure, whenever I put my hand up like that, it means that I'm looking at the Amazon Live page just to make that we're sure that we're live. And I'm just waiting for that to happen. There's usually a lag between what happens in my studio and what happens on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Amazon Live. So we are live on Amazon Live, absolutely brilliant. And we're good to go. Right, always sort of exciting moments, or tense moments, when you actually go live, because you want everything to work. And 99.9% of the time it does. Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen. I'm based in Wiltshire in England, and today's show is about my country walks. During the week, I broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, and now on Amazon Live. Okay, so on Amazon Live, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So this is the Wednesday show. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, which means it's around about 11 a.m. Pacific, but it's 7 p.m. in the UK and 8 o'clock in Belgium. So this show goes out globally. It's got viewers around the world, for which I'm eternally grateful. And I know that I'm live on Facebook because Chris says so. And hello, Chris. And Chris is saying hello, Stephen. Chris is in St. Nicholas in Belgium. And hopefully my pronunciation is right. Okay. Now, if you are watching on Amazon Live, if you've any questions about, because this is primarily about going for walks in the country and filming, okay? Because I do the shows during the week, but the weekend I actually go out and film. And I film the areas in Wiltshire. I've got a great choice. I can go to Stonehenge, I can go to Avebury, I can go to Salisbury. We might go to Salisbury tomorrow or Friday. Decided that what we're going to do now is have long weekends. So Friday is the day out. Friday is there when I'm with my mobile phone and my gimbal and my clip-on microphone. And let's just take a look over, and thank you for watching live. And I'm just so grateful to actually be on Amazon Live. Okay. So we will be looking at a video at some point in the broadcast. There's the video all ready to go. And as soon as I press play, it will start. But I'm going to hide that for the moment. This is a video about Lacock Abbey. Lacock Abbey is about 15 miles away from where we live. And it was founded in 1332 as a nunnery. And then during the Reformation, when King Henry VIII dissolved the monasteries, he dissolved the monasteries and the convents, Lacock had to close. And the nuns went off to other sister houses, and Henry VIII gave the property to an earl as a thank you. Now it was handed down through generations, and eventually it was sold, and it was sold to Henry Fox Talbot. Now, Henry Fox Talbot is the most amazing gentleman. He was a scientist. He lived at the hall. He built a second story onto the hall, and he was the person who took the first ever photograph. Now, the French will debate this, but he did it. He took the first photograph, which was of a window He did it on photographic plate, went through developer and fixer and a wash, and he had the first photograph. He's called the father of photography. And there is a museum in his honor, which is called the Henry Fox Talbot Museum at Lacock Abbey. And it has cameras, incredibly, from the 1700s through to up to date. And if you remember Kodak Brownie, I mean, we're talking 20th century here because I wasn't around in the 1800s or 9, well, Kodak Brownie, Kodak Instamatic, Polaroid camera, every single camera, well, most of the cameras from 1700s right up to date are actually in the museum. And the fact that we can go out filming today is down to the pioneering work that he did. He was the father of photography, and we'll see a short video about him shortly. And I say that to Chris, who's actually now over on Amazon, and also to everybody else who's actually commented. Thank you. Comments actually are priceless. Right, now, I've talked for many weeks. I'll just go talked for many weeks about gimbals. And down in the carousel at the moment, you will see the Hoem gimbal. And this is it. Okay, this is my best friend when I go out and I do my filming. And what I do is I take the gimbal, I take my Android phone, which is a Samsung, and I take the microphone, which I'll show you in a moment. And basically, this is not an unboxing because I use this every week, but it will give you, if you've ever wondered what a gimbal looks like, and it's an amazing word because it doesn't describe what it is. Most words actually describe what they are. Now, here's the case, and this is my first, so you have to forgive me. Here's the case, and the first thing you have, you can actually use the gimbal in a static situation on your desk. So this screws into the bottom of the gimbal, and it's got 3 wings on it, and you can pull the wings, and you have basically a tripod for your gimbal to stand on. Okay, so in addition to being a gimbal, it's also a static stand that you can actually use to mount your mobile phone. So what is a gimbal? Well, this, excuse me a moment, is a gimbal. Okay, and it's basically got a rechargeable battery inside, and there are light indicators to show whether it's charged or not. And there's a control panel to actually control it. And there's one button there which actually starts it. And basically, if you're out photographing and you're making a short movie and you've got the camera in your hand, and I'm looking for mine, I put it somewhere safe. If you've got the camera in your hand, then somewhere, best laid plans of mice and men, gang and glay. If you've got, this is going to be fun because I don't normally do this. I've got to tell you that this is going to be an adventure. I'll tell you the story of Lacock in photographs and video in a moment, but I'm just trying to explain, frantically trying to explain what happens. So you've got your mobile phone, and your mobile phone, as we all have them, is in a case. And I'm going to take my mobile phone out of the case, and I don't want you to see me struggling. Okay, but I've now got the mobile phone out of its case, and the area below me is carpeted. If this falls, it won't be a problem. But if you're out and about and you're photographing things, yeah, then you're going to hold the camera something like that, which is not quite the right height. Chest height is not the right height, and you can't hold a camera like that. It just doesn't work, does it? With a gimbal, you can take your camera and you can fit it into the gimbal. And again, I'm not going to show you me messing about. No, I'm not. Just a second. In a second. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay. Right. I now have, right, successfully. What didn't take too long, did it? And I am going to practice doing this. I mean, so when I'm outside, I sit down on the bench. I take my camera out of its case. I take the gimbal out of its case. And I put the camera, the mobile phone, mine's a Samsung, onto the gimbal. And that's it. Now, is this complicated to operate? You ask yourself. And the question is, not necessarily. If you press the on button, then the gimbal will come into life. That's it. That gimbal is now ready to use. And if I go to my mobile phone, put my camera software on, which is Astra Streaming Studio, then that's all I need to do. I don't do the fancy stuff, right? But this gimbal, which is down in the carousel at the moment, does have a wonderful Android and iOS app which you can use to actually control your camera. Also on the camera, you've got controls for pan left and right, for going up and down, for zooming in, zooming out. All are part of this gimbal. Now, when I first started with gimbals, and I'm going to put this over to one side. Okay. When I first started with gimbals, they were big. They were big. Okay. And now they've shrunk, and now they're light, and you can just carry them, and you can carry them like that, or like that, or, and I'm going to try and get this on screen, like that. Now, a lot of people actually use their gimbals in that mode. Okay. So you can see through the viewfinder, or through the screen, what's actually going on. Your camera is there. That means I've got the phone in the right way around. That's a good start. And this is basically what I do when I go live at the weekend, is I just take that gimbal and that phone, job done. Now, I do have an amazing piece of software which goes on to my Android phone, and that is called Astra Streaming Studio. Now, basically, what you want is a piece of software on your phone which can not only record what you're actually filming, but I love going live. I mean, I'm at my best when I'm live, because as you see now, anything can happen. And I love the sort of, there's a sort of buzz about doing a live video. And with the Astra Streaming Studio, I can send the signal from my phone, which is safe in its gimbal, to Switchboard Live, and Switchboard Live send it out to 11 different sites. So one signal from my phone goes to 11 different sites, and I'm live on Facebook pages, groups, my profile, YouTube, Twitter if I want, LinkedIn if I want, and my website, because I'm a great believer about being able to broadcast to your website. And I'll be talking about broadcasting to your website tomorrow in Lights, Camera, Action, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So that's my next program. I do 4 shows a week, right? So the gimbal, actually, as you can see, is very easily maneuverable. Okay, now the other thing is that you should always shoot with your camera in that fashion. Yeah, it's pointless having the most, I mean, we're lucky. Our mobile phones at the moment are the most powerful they've ever been. They've got cameras with millions of megapixels. The quality of your mobile phone is better than the quality of your Logitech camera. And I know this from experience. Okay. But a gimbal is the way to actually record history. Because when you go out and you record, what you're actually doing, I'm just turning this round because I'm fascinated by it. I'm turning this around just to look at something. The gimbal gives you great freedom. You're not afraid that the camera's going to fall. You've got a tight grip Yeah, look how tight that grip is. And you're in total control of the camera. Okay. And that's the Hoem gimbal, which is down in the carousel at the moment. And you can't see me, can you? Okay. But if I was to start my software, I'll do this next week just to show you what it's like. Next week, I'll set it up with the camera so that I can actually go live from my studio on Amazon Live, but also on my mobile phone. Okay, and I'll show you how easy it is. So this is a step-by-step process. I showed you the mobile phone. I've shown you the gimbal. Okay, now in terms of gimbals, I chose the OM gimbal because somebody recommended it to me, and it is a wonderful piece of kit. So I put this down. I don't want to drop anything on the floor. Okay, so it's now down, and I can go on to a second gimbal. It's playing. Sorry, I can go on to a second gimbal, but this is the one that I've chosen. DJI precedes the home gimbal. It's got more. In the UK, we say it's got more whizzy bits. It can do more, but for my purposes, this gimbal is simply perfect. And as I say, it comes in. I'm getting used to doing this. If I can get everything to hand, I just need a table beside me with everything on it. This is the carry case. And as I said earlier, it also comes with a stand, and you can put the stand on the bottom like that. This is live, by the way. You can put the stand on the bottom like that, and that's it. And then you just pull out, and this bit's not going to work, is it? Nope. Okay, believe me, you can actually pull out the stand. That will work. I'm going to switch the camera off. Okay, so when it's switched off, it's like that. Okay, and it just fits into the carry case, and job done. Okay, so as you saw, even I can set it up, and I am using it every weekend when we go out touring Wiltshire and the area beyond. We've been down to Portsmouth Docks. We're going, been to Avebury, been to Stonehenge. Stonehenge was a brilliant day. I mean, that was, we've got a phrase in the UK, which again is hissing down, which you're going to understand is it was pouring with rain. And there was I with the gimbal, with the phone on, holding it tight to me so it didn't actually get too wet. And I actually walked all the way to Stonehenge in the pouring rain, and we got there, and it worked perfectly all the time. So I can attest that the home gimbal can get you from the Stonehenge Visitor Centre to Stonehenge, walking along the road, being buses whizzing everywhere, and you still get to the henge, and you can walk around the henge, and you can film the henge. And speaking of which, I'm just going to share something with you. Now, this is a blog that I wrote during the week. So let me share screen for a moment and just show you some of my journeys. I don't want you to go there now, because we are obviously now, we are actually live on Amazon and on BeLive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the video I showed you a moment ago. I'm going to share this tab, bring it up on screen, and I'm going to go, not that way, I'm going to go picture in picture, because I can. Okay. This is my website, and I'm going to scroll to the top. And it's Country Walks with Stephen via Switchboard Live. I'll just explain Switchboard Live to you. I send one signal from my camera, it goes to Switchboard Live, then it goes out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, my website. All my country walks are actually on this page. So if I mention a country walk to, right, okay, let's go back up to the top. If I mention a country walk to Lacock, you can watch the video here. every stone circle, we've got the video. Stonehenge, we've got the video. Cairnhill Locks. All the videos using the home gimbal are actually on the website. And you've got more details of how I'm doing it. You've got links to the software that I use, and you've got photographs, what's by Angelica. You've got the show you're watching now, and hopefully somewhere in there is a photo by me. And that is Lacock Abbey, and that's what we'll be looking at in a moment. So all the things that you're actually watching or about to watch are actually on that website. And I do say that you should have your own website and you should tell your story on your website. I'm using software to get all the videos on screen. All my videos are stored on YouTube. So basically, I do a country walk. It's recorded everywhere. Yeah. And then from YouTube, I link it to my website using a program called VI Loud. All these details are actually in the blog post itself. And you can play those videos on demand whenever you wish. You can stop and start them as you wish. You can watch the whole video or part of the video. You can switch from one video to another, all on one page. And if you Google, just with me, not now, we're on Amazon. If you Google Country Walks with Stephen, then you'll find the blog post, and the blog post has all the videos in it. Okay, so blogging is an important part of what I do. The cycle is go and shoot the video, have an enjoyable day out, fingers crossed in the sunshine. Doesn't always work out that way. The video is broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and people watch the video live. And then afterwards, I download the video, I edit it, and then it's sent out so you can actually watch the replay. And that's, to me, that's repurposing. I mean, we've been talking about repurposing for years, but taking your video and being able to put it into a blog post, and that blog post gets read by people. Yeah. So, and it's there forever. I mean, once you've got a blog post and Google's found it, Google search has found it, then it's going to stay there forever. And if in 5 years' time you search Country Walks with Stephen, you'll still find me and you'll find that blog post. You should have your own website if you are promoting a business or a cause, is all I'm saying. And it's not that expensive these days. And it is very simple and straightforward to do. I just use a WordPress blog. Right, okay, so we've talked about gimbals. The other major part of my going out and about is a Fitbit. And I put 2 Fitbits down in the carousel. If you scroll the carousel, you find all sorts of things. I'm not going to talk about all of them today. I did a video today. For Amazon Live, and they accepted it. I am chuffed. Yeah. So if you, well, I'll tell you about my journey on Amazon Live another time, but I'm building it up stage by stage. And today I created a video. I was using this, which is my Pivo stand. And if you want to know more about the stand, then you'll find out if you check out my profile. Well, I'll speak about it tomorrow as well. Okay, so when you're going live, you need a mobile phone, you need a gimbal, but what you also need, and hopefully this will work, what I'm going to do now is something rather daring, so bear with me a moment as I destroy the whole studio. Okay, but you didn't hear any noises off, did you? You didn't hear the crash bang wallop then? Okay, so this is basically, you didn't hear a crash bang wallop then, because my Audio Technica 2100 microphone has Crisp attached to it, Crisp.ai, which means that any sounds around my office, around the building, You won't hear. The only thing you can hear, hopefully, fingers crossed, is my voice. Okay, now I did set this up earlier and I forgot about it. So I'm just going to hide the website that we just talked about, and I'm going to bring this up on screen and take myself off full screen. Okay, now you can see two of me. Right, just a word of explanation. This me, no, not that me. The me on the left is the one who's using Logitech Brio camera, the Audio Technica microphone, and I just need to press a button. The Audio Technica microphone. This is the microphone, the only microphone you can hear now. And on the right is the camera from my Microsoft Surface Book 2. Now that has been nominated as my demonstration camera. So let's go over. This is luxury. This is having two cameras on the same set. Okay, I'm going to press full screen. And we're over here now. And hopefully you can see me. It's not too dark. I'm just going to switch a light on. Excuse me a moment. Okay. Down in the carousel, you will see, I'm just rewinding this. How is it that you have a single cable and it can knot itself? If you can answer me that, I'd be most pleased, because it happens too frequently to me that I have a long cable and it gets knotted. Okay, so in the carousel, we're now looking, and thank you for starting to follow me. We're now looking. It's tangled. Right, I'm going to show you this end of it first. This end is a lapel microphone. When I was starting doing courses on Udemy, because I do courses all about live video and how to use live video, and I need the microphone because I got the PC with the inbuilt microphone, but Udemy, who have fantastic quality control, said you can't use that. You cannot use. It's just not high enough quality. What you need is either a USB microphone like a Blue Yeti or a Snowball, or you need a lapel microphone. Now, this is when I started my Udemy journey, before I got thousands of students on Udemy. So I opted for the lapel microphone, which you can see down in the carousel. Lapel microphone is very simple and straightforward. And I'm hoping to do this live. If I press there, okay, it clips onto your clothing. One in, that's one. Okay. And then the second thing it does, and I'm hoping this works, what I'm going to do, you remember the gimbal, which you can probably see better if I put it over there. Yeah. There's my mobile phone. Okay. And here is the other end of the cable. So what I do, holding my phone reasonably steady, is I plug. This is not going to work, is it? Yes, it did. That's it. Now, why is this important, you ask? And it's a fair question. Why is it important to have a microphone? You've got a microphone on your phone. Why do you need an extra microphone? Well, you need an extra microphone because the microphone on your phone picks everything up, and everything's equal volume. And if you're doing filming in your high street, then you're going to have traffic. You're going to have cars going by. You're going to have buses going by. You're going to have taxis going by. And the microphone in the camera says, okay, everybody's important. Yeah. So you cannot be picked out of the crowd. And people, instead of hearing you, are actually going to hear all the noises in the background. If you pay the $35 for an external microphone, as you'll see in the video later, your voice comes booming through over the top of everything else. Yeah. And this is a difference between a video that you record for yourself and a video that you record to share to other people. if you're going to be shooting video like I do, walking around your town or city, and you then want to put it on YouTube for people to watch, as you should, right? Because you're filming history, yeah? Then you need to have a decent sound. We know, let's come back to me for a moment. We know from experience, look where the gimbal is now. We know from experience, put that down. We know from experience that if my sound was bad now, you would stop listening. Okay. When you are watching me on Amazon, thank you. But the odds are that you've got another Amazon.com tab open and you're looking at things. And that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Just click on something in the carousel that takes your interest and then go off and look at it and just listen to me. But you wouldn't listen to me if my sound was bad. Now, it's the same when you do a travelogue video. You cannot do a travelogue video with bad sound because people will just watch the first few seconds, be turned off by the bad sound, and they won't watch the rest of the video. So if you want to encourage people to actually watch your videos, what you need to do is to get yourself a lapel microphone, plug it into your phone. So step one, right? I did it the wrong way around a moment ago. I know I did. Step one, take your phone out of the case. Step two, plug in your external microphone, put the lapel microphone onto your clothing. Step two. Step three, put the phone into the gimbal. Yeah, that gimbal. Okay. Start the software on your phone whilst the gimbal is static. Yeah. Start the gimbal, press start on the software on your phone, and you're live. What could be easier? Okay. Unfortunately, from time to time, you get those steps in the wrong order. And I am sorely trying to get everything right on the show tonight. But it's not going to happen. I accept it's not going to happen. Anything about anybody who tells you that they can do live video perfectly is, well, it's being economical with the truth, as we say in the UK. Yeah. There's no way that you can do a live video and have everything go swimmingly, perfectly. It just doesn't happen. So you've got to be prepared for things that go wrong. If you're on live video, always be ready for something to go wrong. Take corrective action, stay calm. Yeah, even when you're shooting video. So, but oh, by the way, when you've done your video on your gimbal and you download it, yeah, do edit it. Okay, it's important. When you are doing a travelogue, as I do, like going around Lacock Manor, I'm walking around and I do some research in the morning. I look up Lacock Abbey on Wikipedia, thank you Wikipedia, and I remember a few salient facts. I don't need to memorize the whole of the Wikipedia page, but I do need some facts, semblance of facts. Okay, so I can tell you the abbey was built in 1332. I can tell you who the first abbess was. That was Ela, and she was from Salisbury. And the first novates entered the nunnery in 1332, and they were left in peace by the people in the village. A village was built because the nunnery was built, and people came to live. And then Henry VIII came to the throne in England, and he dissolved the monasteries and the convents. So the convent was closed. Now, all that came from Wikipedia, okay? But I'm not going to remember it perfectly, but the more I actually tell the story, the more I will remember. That's a fact. So do your research before you go, and do get yourself, I'm going to set this off now before it tangles itself, do get yourself a lapel microphone for when you're out recording. Okay, now I've also given in the carousel a choice of microphones. When you're out and about, it's always good to have earbuds on, and you can be listening to music, you can be listening to a podcast, you can be listening. And the best earbuds that I've found are these. And what I'm going to do, I know I look different, but I don't care. These are Aftershok's titanium headphones. Now, I've got a problem with headphones. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've bought headphones which are wired and worn the wire out. I bought buds that go in your ear, and as soon as you move, they fall out. I bought earbuds which are uncomfortable, but you don't find that out until you've had it on for an hour. Right. These Aftershok's headphones, first of all, they do not go in your ear. Okay, so they're not going to irritate you, they're not going to annoy you, you're not getting a dull pain in your ear from wearing these, because these go over the ear and they're bone conducting headphones. And believe you me, the sound from them is absolutely amazing. It's just the best quality. Okay, if you were playing the Rolling Stones, and it's a sad time for all Rolling Stones fans, that's also with Charlie Watts' family at the moment, or you're playing Def Leppard, or you're playing Led Zeppelin, then you can do that. You get perfect sound. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that while you're out videoing, because you've got to listen to what you're saying. But this is the beauty of these headphones, is that whilst I'm wearing them, if somebody comes up next to me and talks to me, I can hear them. Yeah. It doesn't stop your ears from working. You can listen to people next to you actually talking. You can hear the conversation. Yeah. And your brain says, somebody's talking to me. And the music goes into the background and you carry on. You've got this conversation, they go away, and all of a sudden the music's back and it's in charge. That's the way these headphones work. And the most important thing is, I mean, I do a lot of walking with my Fitbit, and you can find a Fitbit down in the carousel. I do a lot of walking. And the thing is that I go walking in traffic. If I had earbuds or earphones or a headset which was in ear, then I would not be able to hear the traffic. With these headphones, right, I can hear everything that goes on around me. So I can even hear a cyclist coming from behind me, and for me that's a big thing. They don't have to ring their bell and I can hear them behind me. Yeah. So Aftershok's for the win. If you do go walking, then they are ideal wherever you take them. If you go jogging, then that's when they come into their own, because they just stay where they are as you're running. And I promised myself I'm going to try and do a 5K. Okay, because we've got a thing in the UK called the Park Run, and at the Park Run is 5K, and you go there in the morning. There's a 5K circuit. Some people can do 5K in 22 minutes. Me, I just want to do 5K in 40 minutes. That's my target. Yeah. But I can take these headphones with me. Yeah. So I can listen to my favorite rock music or folk music or country and western whilst I'm actually jogging. And you can't get better than that, can you? Okay. Right. Now, thank you to everybody who's watching live. And thank you for your comments. And Chris has talked about the IPEVO. Chris used the IPEVO to film demos for education, safe and more effortless than the books I could before. And Chris is saying my black Aftershok's are in the carousel. And it's difficult to see that I am wearing them. Right, okay, it is difficult because they're black. So further on in the carousel, you'll see Krista Boven's Aftershok's, and Chris recommends those. So you've got two choices for Aftershok's. You've got the ones that I'm wearing, you've got the ones that Chris uses. I'm going to take these off now and put them safely to the right of me without them falling on the floor, because we don't want anything to go wrong, do we? Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm just trying to remember what this was. This is my second camera. Okay, this is the one I do demonstrations on. So I'm just reminding myself that that's the camera to do demonstrations on. And I'm going to come back to me now. Okay, so I've got one camera which is front facing, which is Logitech Brio, and then I've got the internal camera, which shows you can use an internal camera on a broadcast. Some internal cameras are better qualities, has to be said. Okay, right, now it's time for a short video. I'm going to play 5 minutes of a video, and the full video, is on my website. But thank you for watching, and we're going to go over now to Lacock Abbey, and I'm going to bring it on screen. I'm going to start part way through. I'm still there. Hide. That's it. He's gone. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a section of the video. If you type Stephen Healy Lacock into Google, you'll find me. If you type Stephen Healy YouTube, you'll find it. And just to spell wise, this is probably going to go wrong, but if I click here, then it should show Stephen Healy. You find me everywhere. Okay, I've been doing this because I enjoy doing it. Hopefully that shines through. So I'm going to put the video full screen, and we're just going to play a short part of the video. I'll come on screen part way through, but we are at Lacock Abbey, and if you remember the history, it was built in 1332, and let's take it from there. I'm going to turn my microphone off. I'll be back. Let's come out. Now, the ground floor of the Abbey, I'll just come around a bit. Okay. The ground floor of the Abbey was built in 1332. Then there was the Henry VIII came to the throne in England, and churches, and especially nunneries and abbeys, were dissolved. There could be no more, and the nuns who'd lived here and been taught here had to move, and they moved to nearby nunneries, and this was then closed down. Now, it then fell into disrepair, but Henry VIII gave this to a baron, and the baron maintained the castle until the mid-1700s. Sorry, not the castle, the abbey. Maintained this until the mid-1700s. So Henry VIII gave it to an earl. The earl and his family looked after it. Then it went up for sale, and it was sold as a private building, and it was sold to Mr. Fox Talbot. And Mr. Fox Talbot, in the 1700s, actually built the second floor as we see it now. So we actually have two structures there. The lower structure, which was built in 1332. And as you can see, this is, especially on a sunny day, a favourite place for people to visit. Let's go over to the entrance and see what we can see. Right, now there is a full video, which, as I said, is actually on my website, and you can watch it on the website. But to do that video, I was using this gimbal, my phone, and I was using the clip-on microphone. A couple of other things that I do want to talk about, and this happened. I was down in, I'll take my name off because you know who I am now. And I'm going to come back to the full screen. Okay. I was filming down in Portsmouth at the Royal Navy dockyard, and I was going around the ships, HMS Warrior, HMS Victory, the Murray Rose. And I got to the Murray Rose, which is the NV8 ship that sank and was raised and is now being lovingly restored by the people at the Royal Navy dockyard. But I actually got there, and first of all, my voice disappeared, and then the picture disappeared, and then the phone switched itself off, and the broadcast stopped. The problem was that I ran out of battery power. So in order to rectify that, I now carry with me an Anker portable charger, which I can plug into my iPhone, which keeps me broadcasting, which makes me happy, because the worst thing in the world is to be part way through a broadcast and your power goes. Now, you can, obviously, before you go out, you can charge your mobile phone. That's probably a good idea. And I try to do that every time I go out, charge my mobile phone. But there are going to be occasions when you actually forget to charge your mobile phone, and that's where the portable charger comes in. And it's a godsend, really, because it does mean that you can carry on broadcasting. Thank you to everybody who's watching live. This is Stephen in Wiltshire in England. We're talking about country walking, we're talking about Fitbits, we're talking about gimbals, we're talking about everything to do with country walking. And we just got to portable chargers. And can I give some info about Astra? Yeah, I'll give you, Chris has asked about Astra. I'll give you a link to Astra after the broadcast, Chris. You're on a Larrick, and you're on an iPhone and also Larricks. Now, if you are out and about in the country, there's so much to see and do, but to actually appreciate nature, you've got to be at a distance. And wherever you are, a pair of decent binoculars are going to be, they're going to make you be able to see a lot more, okay, than you can with the naked eye. Binoculars are a boon if you're visiting different places and you can see things close up that the naked eye can't pick out. So carry binoculars with you, and you won't go far wrong. Now, the cameras that we've talked about so far have been your mobile phone, brilliant, Android or iOS, no problem. But in addition to that, you can always take, obviously, a DSLR camera with you, and there's a Nikon, which was recommended to me down in the carousel at the moment. You're going to get such high quality image as with the Nikon camera, and it is a best in class camera. And I mean, I checked it out. It's on my list of things that I actually want to get, and I shall. Okay, if you put a wish list together, one day the wishes will come true. That's why Amazon have a wish list, so you can remind yourself of the things that you want. So that camera is on my Amazon wish list, and one day I shall actually buy it. So we don't need a Logitech camera at the moment, although just to say that the C922X is the best-selling Logitech at the moment from people who've actually watched my streams. And I'm just going through things of interest. If you scroll the carousel, there are about 30 items in it, and you can see the aftershocks that Chris has got, and Chris is commenting. And you can also see an alternative lapel microphone from Rode. Now, nobody ever got fired for buying Rode microphones. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you need a rucksack to carry everything in, and that's the one I use, the Under Armour rucksack. It's rugged. It's got 3 compartments, one on the front, one above that, and then the major compartment with slots inside where you can actually store things. That's how I carry my gimbal around. My gimbal came in this carry case, and I'm hiding my face now. Came in this carry case, and if you missed the early, if if you missed the early part of the show, please do go back and watch the replay. You'll find some moments which were interesting. All right, okay, because I've been doing live video now for 6 years. Live video is fantastic. I love it. I do it. I go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And then they released me to go live on Amazon Live. Now, Amazon Live is a totally different thing. Amazon Live, I've got to tell you this, thousands of people will watch the videos that I do this week. And that gives you a different responsibility for getting things right. But as I said at the top of the show, the only thing that's sure about live broadcasting is that occasionally things will go wrong. And we do our best, obviously. We do our best to make sure that not too many of them go wrong. But when you think of all the bits and pieces that you're controlling in a live studio, it always amazes me that you actually get to the end of the show and people are still watching. And I do thank you. I do appreciate you spending your time with me. And I'm going to now, in previous shows, what I've done is I've showed videos. Okay. And I showed you a few minutes of video earlier today. But I'm now, okay, because repurposing is the thing. You go out with your gimbal, you shoot a video, I might play out live, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and LinkedIn now. Thank you, LinkedIn. And then once you've got the video, you want to repurpose it. Yeah. Now you repurpose it, it goes on YouTube. From YouTube, it goes to your blog post. People can watch it on your blog. Job done. No, it's not. I'll tell you why. I'm just going to share this screen. I'll tell you why this is not the full story. I'm going to hide the video. I'm going to take that off full screen. And no, take it off full screen. Okay. When I was out shooting the video, okay, basically I was photographing. Just like Henry Fox Talbot would want us to, I was actually taking a series of, a video is a series of still images put together. So you can take the video that you shot on your gimbal and mobile phone and lapel microphone, and you can, using a piece of software, create images. All the images you're about to see are of our tour of Lacock Abbey, which was a nunnery built in 1332, taken over by, right, okay, so you know the story, because that was earlier in the show. But I've been able to, I'm just going to my program of choice, take stills from the video. And these stills from the video, I can use anywhere. They're my copyright. I took this photograph. Nobody else can have it without my permission. Now, I don't put copyright stickers on, but I could. I'm not going to do that. So these are from Lacock Abbey. Now, this was taken on Sunday. The video was shot and shown live. That is basically, that's the back of the entrance to the Abbey grounds. Now, come to the Abbey, you can park in the car park. There's no problem parking. There are extra fields to park on. You pay £4.50 or $6 for parking, and then you walk into the Abbey grounds and you come through. That's the entrance, but it's also the home of the Fox Talbot Museum. Now, just a reminder, Henry Fox Talbot lived from 1700 to 1777, and he took the world's first photograph. He lived in the Abbey, which you'll see in a minute. There is a museum dedicated to the history of photography, including his part in it, in this building in front of us. And you can walk around, you can spend a good hour walking around downstairs and looking at all the exhibits there are in the photography museum. But it's not just a museum, you should know this. They hold exhibitions by world-renowned photographers, and you can visit an ever-changing exhibition in the next floor of the museum, floor 2. I don't know what that is. You know, sometimes you take a shot and you think, well, if I just had the camera, that's obviously a column. You don't know what's on top of that column, do you? And I'll try and get a better shot for you. Not now, though. So these stills were actually taken from the video that I shot. And this is a still of, this was built in the 1700s when Henry Fox Talbot, we'll see the Abbey in a moment, that this was built in the 1700s. And this was the stable yard. Because before cars, they rode horses. And this is inside the stable yard. Now, I love this photograph, and I'm going to tell you why I love this photograph. This looks French to me. You could put this down in any French village and it would not look out of place. So I'm going to say that Henry Fox Talbot did the Grand Tour, and he went through France, he went through Italy, and he was so taken by the architecture in France, he brought it back and used it to actually create his stables. I love stained glass windows. I just love the art of actually piecing the glass together. That's why I took that photograph. Right, this is the entrance to the Abbey, and you will, as a tourist, as a visitor, you go up the left-hand side, you come down the right-hand side. But this was all built in 1332. Now, in front of you, you have what looks like a meadow. Okay, it is a meadow, but you can see that the meadow slopes towards you, and there's a wall built here, and this wall is a retaining wall, but there's a ditch between the wall and the mound in the meadow. I know you can't see what I'm pointing at, but I'm doing it anyway. This is what is called a aha, A-H-A, and I'm sure it's peculiar to England that an aha is that it is basically, it's a wall, ditch, mound. And I don't know what the purpose was. I've no idea what the purpose of this was. I will find out for you, but bear with me. So what we're looking at is images from the video shot over the weekend. There is, in all its magnificent glory, that is Lacock Abbey. And I just love this photograph. If you notice my other photographs, I've not chopped the top off the tower on the right-hand side. I am so proud of myself to actually have got the tower in the photograph. And I say thank you to the people who are walking about. There's another shot, and it just looks magnificent. Now you notice that the windows are actually curtained. That's to protect the contents inside. When you do visit the Abbey, you can be on the other side of the curtains. You can walk through the rooms as they were in the 1700s. Now, there are three things you should know about this particular abbey. One, it was a nunnery. Two, this is where Henry Fox Talbot, who took the first photograph, lived. And three, this was where 3 of the Harry Potter films were filmed. This was the backdrop. So as we go on, you may well, from the Harry Potter films, recognize part of this. That's another good photo. Again, I've got the tower in. Let's go. Oh, see, this is what I'm on about. This, I haven't got the tower in. It's a beautiful photograph, but I've chopped the tower off. Right, now, I've gone around the corner, and this is the entrance to the cloisters, the Abbey Cloisters. So you can see there's somebody queuing there. I had to wait because we're living in difficult times. I had to wait until they'd actually gone through. So I just took a shot. And this is inside the cloisters. As you can see, I'm reminded of Salisbury Cathedral, but these cloisters are just beautiful. And you're actually now looking at the exact place where parts of Harry Potter were filmed. So just go through these, and that's, I love that shot. I've got to say, I love that shot because it's just, I'm going to come back on screen in a minute. I'm going to come back now. I'm what is known as an accidental photographer. And by that, my best photographs come about accidentally. In other words, I take so many photographs that one of them's got to turn out. This one turned out. And you will see this as a backdrop, either on my profile somewhere. So just going through around Lacock Abbey, the Abbey grounds, you can actually walk around, and that's what we're going to do now. This was built by Fox Talbot in the 1700s. There's looking back at the tower, and now we're in the woods. As I say, walk-wise, we're actually just outside the Abbey here. You can actually walk across the fields into the forest, and you can walk through the forest on fixed routes, back to the Abbey, back to the front of the Abbey, right, signpost, museum, the way out, the village. The village is a delight. If you visit Lacock Abbey, you want to visit the village too. In its own right, it is a tourist attraction. Many films have actually been made in the village. You'll see why when you see photographs of the village. There's the entrance to Lacock Abbey, which is quite imposing, and it's an archway, and the horse and carriage would have driven up the drive and through there, up to the Abbey, up to those steps, and they would have entered. And again, I've got the turret on. Okay, now I did 2 sets of shots, so we're seeing the same thing again, but I just love, as we cycle through, and I chose the same shot twice. The Abbey is a beautiful place, and I've come to the end of the photos, and thank you for actually looking at those photos with me. You will see them, okay, because the sequence is I do a live video using my gimbal. Video goes on YouTube, goes to my blog. I then got a piece of software, and I'll include the details of software in my blog, and that basically takes a 30-minute video and creates 200 photographs, yeah, from the video. I then look through the 200 photographs, and I then pick 30 photographs which are reasonable. In other words, I don't destroy 170 photographs, because you can't destroy a digital photograph, but I leave them be. I leave them where they are, and they're on my hard drive somewhere, and I may get to them. But the 30 I can then use, and I can repurpose. I can do blog posts. I can use them in the broadcast like I did today. So when you do go out and shoot local video, use your camera, use your gimbal, use your microphone for reasons we discussed earlier in this video. Afterwards, edit it, upload it to YouTube, let the world see it, and just enjoy country walking and taking video at the same time. So this has been Stephen in Wiltshire in England. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's actually joined me today on this journey. You have been absolutely wonderful. I'm back tomorrow, and tomorrow is all about lights, camera, action. It's about desktop audio and video, not mobile. I've really enjoyed today. I hope you have too. If you've any questions, then you just need to look me up on the web and get in contact on, this is going to go wrong, I know it is. Just look me up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and you'll find me, and you can ask me questions. And thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Chris, thank you. And goodbye, everyone, for now. Everybody who's commented, you're awesome. Right. Angelica's cooking tonight, so I'm just going to go and enjoy dinner. Bye for now.